I love fanboy tears. I love fanboy tears. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it doesn't matter with what fanboy it is, Star Wars, Disney, Marvel, DC. It doesn't matter. I love fanboy tears because he's usually crying about something stupid, and it's usually something illogical about it. And in this case, it's very hypocritical. I love it. So fanboys are now crying about the fact that Sony took Spider-Man out of the MCU, which I love it. Which personally, I don't give a shit one way or another. I said I was done with the MCU post Endgame anyway. You know, people get annoyed at people. Fanboys get annoyed at people. Fanboys aren't people; they're just fucking lunatics. They got annoyed at people for saying that, and I'm just like, bitch, you said Logan was the perfect fucking ending to X-Men, so I'm saying the same shit to motherfucking Endgame, and that's not out of spite. I mean, it's legitimately the perfect ending. I still haven't seen Far From Home. I don't really need to, honestly, especially now. Especially now, I don't need to see this shit. Apparently, Sony wanted Disney wanted 40 or 50%, not just of the revenue from the Spider-Man movies, but apparently they wanted revenue from other movies that they weren't making, like Venom and I guess the new Morbius movie. And it's like, if that's true, I'm like, okay, why would anyone defend that? But it's their property. It's like, no, it's not. It's not in terms of film. But people say it's fine because it's Disney, and they defend Disney because of the brand, basically. The brands like Star Wars, Marvel, that's why they defend Disney's shitty behavior at this point. And that's what helps them sleep at night and helps them defend whatever garbage that this company does. First of all, Disney doesn't even need the fucking money, do they? Like, look at all the movies. Like, the MCU alone made upwards of $5 billion. Fucking Captain Marvel, Endgame made $2 billion. There you go. So, Spider-Man: Far From Home, which is I guess most of the profit is going to Sony, but still they made a lot of money, and that's not even including Toy Story 4, Aladdin, and Lion King. I don't know why Lion King and Aladdin made that much money. You see the same movie you saw 20 years ago and done better. I don't, other than the drop of quality, I don't see the difference. I don't know why people flock to the theater in droves to see that again and again and again. And the cycle fucking continues. But Sony is the worst company in the fucking world. Not this company that insults your intelligence and gets away with it repeatedly. I mean, because if Sony tries to insult people's intelligence, Sony can't do anything without people complaining about it. So there's that. Sony could literally cure fucking cancer, and people will be like, I'm not taking the Sony cure, okay? I don't want the Sony cure, okay? Unless Spider-Man's in the MCU, I don't want the Sony cure. Okay, well, you're a fucking retard. I can't I don't know what to tell you. Oh, and then what kills me is that people also this just occurred to me. Doesn't it seem kind of strange that Disney wants that much money now after that whole SEC whistleblower thing broke like a couple of days ago? Doesn't it seem kind of strange? That story broke, stocks were dropping for Disney, and now all of a sudden they come out with they want this much more money from the film properties under Sony. I think the Marvel film properties under Sony. That seem kind of strange to you? Because that whole SEC thing was about them cooking the books and inflating revenue. Now, granted, that was for the parks and the resorts, but I have no doubt if they're doing it there, they most likely would probably do it in the film division too. That makes sense. I mean, like, why wouldn't they? If they do it here and get away with it for so long, why wouldn't they do it to the films and it's like, ooh, yeah, greatest place on earth, great. Ugh. And it's so funny is the hypocrisy of the fanboys crying about it. First of all, they want to boycott anything Sony, even if they'll boycott anything Sony. Don't see any Sony movie, okay? Don't even buy Sony products. All because of this franchise bullshit, the rights of a movie. But it's so funny. You won't see If they make good movies like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, you won't see that because of this. But you'll gladly throw your cash at Disney, who is just constantly remake after remake after remake. You'll gladly throw your cash at that shit. Doesn't that show you how? Doesn't that seem to show you how just blind and pretty much stupid these fanboys are? These people are, where they won't see a movie or boycott one company for doing something that's just business related, but they'll support another company that has no respect for them at all. I mean, neither does Sony, but fucking Disney's far more blatant about it. We'll boycott movies like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and potentially Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse 2, and they're boycotting that. They'll boycott those things, but gladly throw their money at some of Disney's worst films. Like, I also love the fact that they say Sony is an evil, greedy corporation. Sony is terrible. They're bad. They say Sony's the evil, greedy corporation while defending Disney, an infinitely more greedier, eviler corporation, a shittier corporation. They're far worse than Sony. Like, objectively, you can look at the emails. The emails show that Sony's a fucking terrible company, but Disney's done some more terrible shit too, far worse. You know? I mean, this set aside the fact that they fucking sued I think they sued a daycare for having Disney characters on their awning or something. It's like, what? Really? That was back in the day. But let's fast forward to like 2015, the whole thing with Quentin Tarantino. Look it up. I've talked about this quite a few times since talking about Disney, but I talked about it. Look it up. It's just it's fucking disgusting. And now it's like, it's just so much shit. The fucking Disney's, I think Walt Disney's daughter or granddaughter came out and talked about how shitty the theme parks have been. Like, she went undercover, just some undercover boss type shit, and saw how just terrible conditions in the parks are in. Like, and then Bob Iger's trying to act like she's bitter. It's like, well, what do you? This shit's. She's right. She was there. What do you? You ain't there, Bob Iger. You're just sitting around. Just making up new old shit, making new shit out of old shit. That's what you're doing. Taking old shit and trying to make it new, and then pushing it out to the audience and waiting for cash to flow in because people they'll have no self-control. Ugh. And again, I'm not saying Sony's great. They're fucking terrible too, but Disney is objectively worse. Yeah, objectively worse company. You'll shit on one evil, greedy company to support and to defend another evil, greedy company. And let's be honest, the reason people hate Sony isn't for anything other than the fucking Spider-Man rights. That's it. It's all because of Spider-Man. Maybe Ghostbusters, but that shit came and gone, and they've already forgotten about that movie, and we're moving on to the fucking Dan Aykroyd. What was it? Jason Reitman. Excuse me. I think Dan Aykroyd is working on this movie too. But we're already moving on to the Jason Reitman Ghostbusters 2020, which I think is what it's called now, Ghostbusters 2020. We've already moved on to that movie. We're already moved on. We're waiting for that one. And if the trailer looks good, I will gladly see it. I don't care about this rights bullshit. So you're gonna support Sony after what they did to Spider-Man. I don't care. Listen, I don't give a fuck. I support what I like. If I like what I see, I will see it. That's the end of the story. I don't care about this rights bullshit. You sit at home, cry, and throw tantrums, and break all your toys, and shit your diaper in anger over this bullshit. I don't give a fuck. And even if I did give a fuck about the right, I'm not gonna sit here and boycott shit because I didn't get my way. This is what it is. You're boycotting it because you didn't get your way. That's all. That's really what it is. It's just people throwing a temper tantrum because they want their way. They can't get their way. So now all of a sudden, well, we're gonna burn everything. Fuck you. Fuck you. If you really cared about fighting evil, greedy corporations, you wouldn't be supporting Disney. But you don't care about fighting evil, greedy corporations. This isn't about fighting evil, greedy corporations. This is about not getting what you want and you being mad about it and you can't do nothing about it. So now, well, fuck it. Everything's gonna burn. Okay, well, You go ahead and do that. I'm gonna sit here and wait for that next Ghostbusters movie to potentially look good. I'm gonna sit here and wait for that Spider-Verse movie that I'm hoping is gonna be good. So yeah, Spider-Verse and Ghostbusters 2020. I hope those movies look good because I will check them out, and I don't care what any fanboy cries about. I don't care if they cry about it. You stay mad about some bullshit rights issue. I'm gonna live in the real world and watch movies based on how I feel about them. You you guys can go suck it dry or grow up. Just one of the two. Just grow up about this fucking rights bullshit. We're gonna riot. Go riot, my friend. I will sit here and live in the real world when I realize Sony and Disney are both terrible companies. Disney is far worse in the end. In the end, honestly, they're a far worse company, and I realize that. You go ahead and pretend that they're good because you like the movies they make.